Good morning and welcome to Irreverent Knits. I am Tracy from Low Country Shrimp and Knits, and we are very lucky today because not only do I have the gorgeous Judy Kirby from Maggie Loves Yarn, but I'm going to throw you out. Dun, 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 dun. We have Liz! Liz from Simply Made by Liz. And wow, what a fun. She said she wants to keep off camera.
She's doing the cue cards for us today.
She's cheerleading on the side.
She's got the timer going, wrap it up, wrap it up. The story's going too long.
Shut up. Stop talking about your story. My God. Okay. So anyway, you guys had quite the adventure that I had to miss out because I freaked out and had a nervous breakdown. So you guys went on a nice little journey.
We did.
So talk about your journey.
We went to the Oxford. We went to the Oxford, Mississippi Fiber Festival, and we had a great Airbnb, and it was really close to downtown. We explored downtown, cute. We explored the Ole Miss campus, and we took some great classes. And some classes I were there. So I think I want to teach next year there because nobody did color work. And every time I wore a color work sweater, they went nuts over it.
Well, because you're amazing at color work.
Thank you. But we also went to a really interesting talk on Friday night by an artist. She's more of a quilt artist. Her name is Jane Tardo, Tardo, and she teaches fiber arts at the local college too, doesn't she? Yes. But she did a whole talk on what is fiber art.
Okay, and what'd she say?
It was really interesting. Well, yeah, all the things that you have to think, because today, a lot of modern art uses fiber.
Right.
You have weavers that use plastic, and they use paper. And so plastic and paper is considered fiber art.
Well,
it's considered
sense.
fiber,
yeah.
Plastic, which blew my mind when she said the fiber, the plastic. I'm like, well, and then she said it, and it was. So it was really interesting, all the different things that were included. And I was surprised at how much I knew.
Well, you're super well read. You're super well read.
Yeah.
In this.
Well, she was talking about the one guy who makes fiber art, and he makes these costumes and stuff, and they make noise. It's like a beautiful noise. And it dawned on me, and I said to her, he was in Savannah, wasn't he? And she goes, yes, he did show in Savannah at the Telfilm Museum. And I said, I saw it. Telfilm Museum in Savannah does a lot of, you just kind of have to follow, but they have a lot of different fiber exhibits sometimes. And he was on there, and I'd forgotten that I had seen him, and it was really interesting.
So you move and it makes noise?
Some of them move, but some of them I think it's not that the fabric itself makes noise. I think he incorporates like amplifiers and stuff in it.
Oh.
I can't remember, but cool. I do remember the noise and thinking that was really cool. So, it was kind of neat. I was surprised at how much I knew.
Well, I'm not surprised at all. Are you, Liz? I mean,
no,
she's read every time I have any questions about...
Judy knows everything.
I know, and everyone. Didn't she run into people everywhere you go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She always complains because I run into somebody I know. So we came out... My friend Gretchen, who you've heard me talk of Scarlett O'Hara. Hey, Gretchen. She's my best knitting buddy outside of the shop. And she had talked, she's a real estate agent in Atlanta, and she talked about somebody she had sold some houses to that has a traveling yarn shop. And so we came out of the building, and there were two of them there. And I'm like, I just wonder. And so Liz is walking with me, and I said, I heard her accent, and I knew, and I said, are you from Atlanta? And she goes, yes, I am. And I said, do you know Gretchen Osborne? Oh my God, she's so my house. Gretchen's brother. So she's standing there, and we're going, take our picture together. And she's like, oh dear God, even in Mississippi, I run into somebody that Judy knows. So it's really funny, and she wants to talk to you. And as soon as I find the card, because I lost it, I'll find it. I'll get it from Gretchen.
We're in.
She wants to do it, and we'll do it like out there, like
that
a
would be
food truck.
Fun. Yeah, that would
Saturday.
That would be fun.
We'll call it Yarn Truck Saturday.
Okay.
And,
we'll work on that name though. I don't want to love like Yarn Truck Saturday.
Sweater she doesn't like either.
Oh, stop it! Stop it with a sweater.
And so, took a dyeing class, learned some new things, some mixing things, and
did you really though?
Lena taught me everything she already knows. But it was fun. I did some silk scarves and did some mixing and stuff.
Oh, you didn't show me your scarves?
I know, I didn't bring them.
Why, jerk? Come on. Okay, all right.
I did 5 of them.
Wow.
So it was funny. We had a good time. And one of the ladies taking the class, her husband and she just started an alpaca farm. And so I gave her my information. I'll see if I ever hear from her. But if so, I'm gonna try dyeing some of her alpaca and see how it works and stuff. So I didn't learn all new, but I knew enough that she and I had the teacher and I had really good exchanges. That she taught me some things and I told her some things that she never thought of. But she dyes wool. For rug hooking and the wool applique. So she dyes yards of fabric as opposed to yarn.
Right.
So and she does use some, and she also taught the next day a natural dyeing class, but I didn't take it. But it was kind of interesting. I found out that we weren't that far off.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I thought it was
and
good.
then the other 2 classes were, okay. We did shawl cuffs, but we stood there and watched her make them for us. So
Yeah, well,
Now we know how to make them.
now we know how to make them.
And your son's going to make them anyway. So
We're gonna try. We talked a little bit last night. This is the first time as him being a fireman. I'm really worried about him.
I know.
My son's a fireman in Memphis, and they're going to release the video tonight of the Tyree beating, which is just awful, and everybody has said it's awful. And they're releasing it tonight after 5:00, and tomorrow.
Which means all hell's going to break loose potentially.
Break loose, not only in Memphis but all over the country. Hopefully not, but. And his station is in what's called the Mounds, which is the height of the area.
Oh gosh.
So, this is the first time I don't worry about him being a fireman. I really don't.
Right.
I can't. If I did.
I know, you'd be nervous.
He works in Memphis where they have 15, 20 calls a day.
Right.
I can't worry about it. And I don't watch Chicago Fire and that stuff either.
No.
But this is the first time I'm really worried.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So.
I'm worried for you.
Yep.
I'm worried for
so we talked a little bit last night. He didn't say a whole lot, but he said, it's in there. So.
All right, and now I'm gonna embarrass Liz a little bit, if you don't mind, Liz. So they had me laughing so hard, and I'm hoping that you don't mind telling the story of Liz and you on the stairs at the.
God! That was so funny. You want to tell it?
No, you tell it. You're much better at telling stories.
Liz is still recovering from back surgery. So she's using a walker, and just so you know, when you're in a yarn shop like Eat, Sleep, Knit, and she's in the walker, stay the hell away from her. She sent me flying about 3 times because she saw some really good yarn and she turned for it, and it was like, I couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
This was the first time I've been to Eat, Sleep, Knit.
Oh, yeah.
And when I opened the door, it was just amazing.
Did angels sing?
Well, you have to.
I imagine.
Yeah, you have to take a paper bag the first time you walk in.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's what I imagine.
Because it's just gorgeous.
So much yarn.
So, and then the rest of the time she used a cane. She was great. I mean, at the festival, they let us park out front so she could walk in, and she was just great. You were just a trooper. You used your walker and that.
Well,
you were. People helped.
It involved yarn.
Yeah.
Worth the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So the Airbnb we stayed in didn't have, and if she could hold on to a railing, she's great. But it didn't have railing, so it had the little step, and then the next step, and then you were on the porch. So I got her up the step, no problem. She held on to me, and she thought, well, maybe I can go down the back steps outside and go around to the gate. But it had rained really hard when we got there on Wednesday night. There were tornado warnings and everything, and we were trying to get in, and it was just a muddy mess. And I said, I don't think it's going to work. So all week I helped her down. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning we get ready to leave, and it's the last 2 times down the steps, and I shut the door and locked it. Car's packed. We start down, and just as I start to say to her, it would really be a bitch if this is the last time and you fall, and she falls. She loses her balance. I lose my balance. Now it has rained all night. The porch is wet. We both kind of fall, and we kind of land on our side, and we both sit up, and our butts are wet now. And I look over to make sure she's okay, and she's like, I'm okay, and I start laughing, and she starts laughing. And we're sitting there, we're just
Because we're terrible people, and we laugh at things like that.
Well, it scared me so bad, and she was fine. And I thought, and I'm just laying there laughing, and she's laying there. We weren't worried because the street over was the hospital. I could have stood and gone like this, and they would have found us. But she's like, we sat there for a minute and just laughed, and then she goes, well, let me see. And she puts her feet down, and now her feet are on the sidewalk instead of that little step. She stands right up. And we both looked at each other, and we went, hell, if we'd known that, I would have shoved you down the steps all week, because that was the easiest, fastest way ever. You go up and down the steps. So we laughed about that.
Yes, we
So
did.
here, thankfully, Liz, you're a good sport. So, otherwise, I don't think you'd survive with us anyway, because we're all.
No, probably not.
It was fun. She got the downstairs bedroom. I got the bedroom that was 19 steps straight up.
Yeah.
And one of those, you get up there and you're fine. You get to the bottom and you go, oh, damn, I forgot something. You go back
Turn
up. 'Cause,
around.
old people don't do steps for that reason.
Right.
It's not because of our knees
Right.
or anything. It's because you get up there and you get down and you forgot something. But
Yeah.
Betty White said that's what kept her alive to 99.
Oh, I believe her.
Because you forget things upstairs, so you have to climb the
Back
steps.
up
to
and
go
down. Your cardio.
It was probably good.
Your cardio.
So that was our week. We
Well,
had
good.
a great time.
Good.
Sorry you missed it.
So no, yeah, I know. Well, I freaked out. So, and I'll take the camera off Liz because I know she doesn't want it. So yeah, no, I had my own like tweak because I've got this half marathon which is pretty much ruling my life right now and also robbing me of my will to live. So I'm so ready to be done with this darn thing. And so like I'm running now. I've got 11 miles this weekend and I'm over that. I'm over this routine. And now I'm like getting this panic that I'm going to get sick because before I was supposed to run, I had done all this training. And then right before it, I got COVID and I crushed me for 2 years. And so now I'm like, I'm so close. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get sick. And so I freaked out about that. Plus then everything's going crazy with the shop and my students and blah, blah, and I got this dog. And so anyway.
Actually, in other words, normal things.
Yeah, totally like a regular. It's a
normal
regular
life.
Tuesday for me. So anyway, yeah, that's why I bailed at the last minute, which sucks. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's been an interesting week here at the shop. So I went around while you were gone. At least I was productive, and I rebuilt all the shelves.
The shop looks amazing.
I took shelves out and moved things in and moved things around and ordering
And now we
some new
can't find
stuff. And
anything.
I have no idea where anything is anymore. I'm like, it used to be here. So we're going through that. So here I am. I'm like, all right. So I downloaded my inventory sheets and I went through and I counted everything in the shop. Everything. And I went through and I put my numbers in. And so Shopify had me downloaded onto the CSV file, and then so I went in and then I updated the CSV file and I went and I uploaded it to the system and it wiped out my entire inventory. I'm like, oh my God. So now it didn't upload the new numbers and also deleted the old numbers. So now I have nothing in inventory according to all of my merchandise. I'm like, oh my God. So I've been panicking trying to fix that. So they put me on hold for, 7-8 hours, it felt like. Then they have finally just hung up on me. So then I'm like freaking out about that. So anyway, I've decided I'm going to redo the entire website since it's all crashed anyway. So we have that to look forward to. So that's what I've been, in all my free time here, trying to rebuild the whole website, which I have zero IT savvy abilities. So... So this is good times. But I did get some new yarn in. So
Lots of neat new yarn.
Yes. So these were a special order, but when you put in a special order with the yarn shop, you can't just get one. You have to get the minimum of the bag. And so the bag could be anything from 4, sometimes 2. Meadow comes in 2 from a fiber company. Yeah, you
gotta
can't
go out.
escape. Oh, he just wants to go up. Okay, he just wants to escape.
Well, if he's going to pee, I'll take him out.
Yeah, if you want.
You think he's going to?
I have no idea. He just likes to. I have no idea. He likes to bark at the door.
Sit here, Liz.
So anyway, so this was a special order. This one comes in 4. So we have this jewel spun that just came in by Sirdar. So we've got these colors. And we've got this other one. This woman just ordered this from us. She's going to be doing The Shift by Andrea Mowry. And so it is all these kind of contrasting colors. Here is the third one that she ordered, also jewel spun. The fourth one is on back order. So that's, but it's all very dark kind of blacks and grays. So that's going to be cool contrast colors. So we also decided I wanted to, I'm trying to always find different fibers and different things that I don't already carry because I have a selection, just not a ton of different colors and things like that. So I'm trying to amp that up a little bit. So I found this, I do love Juniper Moon Farm, and they have this one, it's called Cumulus. And so there are a couple different, this one's the Degrade, and then we have one that's Rainbow. So, Degradé, excuse me. But the way it is this really fluffy fiber, but then it's got here these colors. And so I thought these were kind of neat colorways. So here's 1, 2,
Dog
Here's
enjoys
one.
peeing way too much.
the dog just wants to be outside. He likes to chase squirrels and feels like he's been in prison here. So this one and this one is my favorite. So we'll have to find something
Isn't that
fun.
gorgeous? Look at
Yeah,
that.
this one's really fun. So we'll have to kind of find something fun to do with that. So we just added this to the shop, and then
We found a pattern last night.
Yes.
Stepping stone scarf.
stepping stone scarf.
Really cool. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it in the grays and blacks.
Yep.
just
So
to see.
here's this, and then we will have a class on it. So we're going to see how this works out. But it is a really nice, soft, fluffy yarn. It is 4, so it's a worsted weight here, and it is cotton and a little bit of nylon. So we'll see how the hold is for it.
I
But-
think for a scarf, it'd be great. It would hold its shape.
Yep. And it's Israeli Mako cotton. So
I'll work on it here. God, I don't know. I have so many things.
I was going to say, I don't even know how you find time to work on anything because you literally have like 7 projects going right now.
I do. I 1, 2, the socks, 3, 4. Just 4.
Oh, just 4. Okay, well, we'll get
Now I
on
bought
that.
yarn to stuff something else. But
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
know.
dye the yarn to go with it.
So we have this, and so then I wanted to add a little bit of Rowan because this is kind of a neat thing. So this is called Denim Revive. And I really like these colors here. It's a thinner weight yarn. This one is recycled denim and recycled cotton. So here, this is good for the environment, and it's nice, and it's nice and soft because it's already kind of worn in. So these are the 4 colors
They're
that...
gorgeous colors.
Yeah, they're all kind of fun.
I immediately
So-
started to plan and realized I couldn't. No.
Yeah, well, we can. We'll just have to plan.
Well, I'm also designing a Christmas stocking too. That's coming along.
Is it? I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything lately,
I
so...
know, so. Aha.
Yeah, haha, we'll have to. Well, these are all kind of...
I'll start that after
Look,
the
at
wedding.
these are all in the same family. I clearly had a theme going when I was ordering yarn that day. And that one. So that's what's going on here. And we're adding a couple more different... I've got some coming in... I just blanked on the name of it. I know I have it written down somewhere. But so that's coming in this week. I've got a few others that we're looking at adding over the next few weeks.
So she has all the space now to add more yarn.
That's right. So now the time has come. We're going to just broaden a little bit the colors and things like that. So, and I just put another needle order in. So if you're looking for something, we've got that probably coming in sometime soon. So that's what's new at the shop. Also, I was told by my daughter very, very angrily yesterday that I forgot to give you a gift from her. So this is what she wants you to have.
It
It's
looks like the baby
the
king curl,
tiniest-
Creole
Yes.
that you put in
King
the
cakes.
The king cakes.
So-
we had some king cakes.
Did
while
you?
We were there.
I love
Yes.
king cake. It's so much fun. Well, I believe
is.
isn't it if you get the baby in it, then you have to buy the king cake next year. So
Is
I
that
believe,
it? Or
Yeah,
you
I
have
believe
a
that's
good
the case.
luck,
Or,
or it
you
means
know,
you'll be pregnant within 3 months. or
something
you're the
like
next-
that. Yes, congratulations, you're pregnant.
I know. So yeah, somebody brought it
Surprise.
from the Friday night reception. The lady that Jane Tardo was from New
Yeah.
Orleans, and she brought a
King cake. They have them in
God, it
Spain
was
too.
So
for-
good. It was like a glorified coffee cake.
Oh yeah, no, it's delicious.
It
So
is.
they have them in Spain too for Tres Magos.
Well, tell her
And
thank
those-
you.
Yes, I will. But I was yelled at this
got the
morning. She goes,
baby
"Why
girl.
didn't you give Judy her baby?" I'm like, "Sorry, everything was falling apart here. I don't know."
Did she color in the hair, or did it come?
It came that way, but she got 100 of them for Christmas because that's what she wanted because she's a weirdo. So she did bring that in, and then they've been coloring them at school, and so they call them the breakfast club. So there's a blueberry, there's a strawberry.
Strawberry shortcake.
So that's what, instead of education, my daughter's coloring babies, and so we've got that going for us. All right, so I did not get much work done because, again, everything was falling apart at the seams. I am now to the edge, so I've changed over. My contrast color is now my main color. It's kind of hard to see. And then the main color has become the contrast color. I don't know if you can see this up here. So working on that.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. I mean, I
It's gonna
said,
be a nice size now.
it's definitely, I had to go a little bit bigger because I went with the same size needle that the pattern called for, but I went with a thicker weight yarn. And so, because I'm teaching this class in a few weeks, so I wanted to make sure I really fully understood the pattern. In hindsight, I would have used bigger needles, but that's all right. So it looks like a tapestry. I mean,
Oh, I think it does. It looks great.
it'll stay here at the
Which
shop.
is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
What about your timber?
Timber has done nothing because I have to now. I'm at the point where I've done everything here, and I have to separate for sleeves, and it's all counting. And everywhere I am, I have people that talk to me.
So you
and I
need
can't.
these.
I
You
can't.
need these.
I can't think. I'm like, and then so I'll be doing something, and nobody's talking to me. I get to something, no one is talking to me.
When I separate, I got to do it by myself.
I gotta
you
do
were
it.
the only one that was in the room.
Yeah.
And we did
Yeah,
not
you
we
didn't
did,
have to
we
talk
did not
to her.
watch TV
Yeah,
at all.
it's
all
like
week,
people
so-
come out of the woodwork. I'm like, there's been nobody at the shop for 4 hours. I'm gonna do this, and then as soon as I put the one,
Yeah,
hey, I'm like,
That's good. That's good though.
So,
yeah.
no, it is
Now, I
good.
do
Of
my
course, come to the
separating.
shop, but
So yeah, Iso Turco is separated now.
oh yeah,
And we're
It's
coming down.
Coming down.
So now, like, this is all the boring part now. I got to come down for 10, because then I start doing the other. And the same thing on my sari is now.
How's it coming with? So you had to use these barber cords, which
Yeah.
we've talked about here as a method of here. I'll show them too.
And
So these are these barber cords
putting
here.
them on the cord can be a little dicey because a couple times they slip off and you start to lose stitches. And you got to grab them really quick and put them on.
Did you put them on your needles like we talked about, or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that?
You put it on the needle.
Uh-huh.
I will just get one out.
We'll demonstrate right here for you.
So you do. You put it on.
Oh, I'd be so scared it fall off.
Well, it did a couple times, but that's why because you get overconfident, and it's like, and
You
it
get
did.
your Godsmack.
These
You're like, I got
slid
this.
on really, really well, and I think so because I'm using size 8 needles.
Yeah.
So the stitches are big and looser, and they slid on very, very easy.
Okay.
I think when people have trouble with, they may be using this is DK. So they were probably using a fingering.
Okay.
And I think it
So
might,
much lighter
it
weight,
might
thinner.
not slide as easily but when you go to slide them back onto your needle, they go really quick.
Okay.
Really quick. So, it's one of those, if I have them and they're handy, I will use them. If they're not handy, something else is just as fine. I have a love-hate, just like everybody else. Everybody has a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah. All right.
The verdict's still out.
Yeah.
But I've got them on.
So I've been trying to, because I want to play with them, and I like to, we do talk about them here, so I wanted to have them at the shop. So I've been trying to get Bryson, I've been trying to order them because that's where I get all of my
Mr.
cool.
Bryson, are you listening?
Mr. Bryson, are you listening here? We try to get, I try to get all of my accessories through Bryson, and I can't find them on their site. So their site is a little difficult to navigate. So they may exist there, and I just can't figure out
I think
the
your rep had them. Because remember we talked about them last time when we went, we're not ready for them.
maybe.
Karen.
I'll have to ask
I think
Karen.
Karen
I'll have to
had
ask
them.
Karen
I
from
think
from
Karen had
Barocco.
them.
So she may have them. So we'll have to talk that because I do want to have them just to kind of play with. So yeah. Well, I'm glad that looks good. Everything's coming along here.
And the color work is all done on sari, the one that's going to be steeped. And I'm now on the plane. I've got to go, I think about 4 more inches, and then I can separate.
if you look this way, it looks like a fish.
It does, but it's a tree.
This is supposed to be fish. This is
It's
a
a
tree. It
tree.
makes sense. It looks like a tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Looks like
I
a
love
tree.
the colors.
And here's where you have to eek right there.
Right there's where you're going to steek, and we're going to steek and we're going to do
Next
this
class.
next class.
Next time.
So this
next
is
weekend.
called. I wrote it down. Hold
Is
on.
it on your here?
Will I get it?
Is it here?
No, I don't know. Did I write? Oh, that's your bag. I'll never find it in your bag.
No, it's not
Did I
here.
write it down?
But I don't know if you wrote it in here.
Simple Steak Mug. It's on Ravelry, and I'll tell you the exact name of
So
it.
here is the little cuff that she made as an example, because we are going to do steeking here, which means I got to make something. I don't have to do color work though, do I? Can I
No.
just whip it out? Whip
the
out a cheap,
pattern
easy
is
one.
called.
It's pretty.
Oh shoot! I thought I wrote it down. Simple. I'll find it. Carry on.
Carry on. So we are going to do this next week. So she's going to come, and I'm going to try not to
you
scream.
do not have to do the color work.
Okay, good. So
you
I
can do
a
simply
simple-
just do it plain.
Are we doing like a worsted weight?
It's a worsted weight.
All right.
It's called the.
She only has 7,648
Simple
pages.
Steak. It's called the Simple Steak Mug.
Simple steak mug. All right. I like
Okay,
it.
you can do it. Just do it plain if you want. You don't have to do the color work if you want to play with color work. I mean, literally, even with the color work, it only took me like 3 hours to do. I did most of it the one Saturday I was working for you. I did almost all of it done here in between customers and finished it up the next morning. So yeah, it's really quick. Put the steeking in. Next week we're going to steek it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to steek it right up through here, and then we're going to talk about how you add the band. And then you got another week to add the band and the button, and we're done.
See, here's the thing. I know that those crazy Norwegians have been doing this forever, and by crazy I mean God love you. But the idea of putting scissors to something I've knit just scares the daylights out of me.
Yep.
It scares the daylights out of me. I'm like, oh, let's just cut all this. I just made all this, and let's chop it now.
The more I knit it on this, the more I'm not scared. It's like, yeah, that's really ugly. Those
So let's just chop them into oblivion.
Cut that. But I'm also, that's the Norwegians also use 100% wool.
Yeah.
And it's sticky.
Yeah.
And they don't even do this. They don't even put up like the little lifeline. They just cut it because it's sticky
far braver
and
than
it
I.
holds. Well, look back here on this side. As I've knitted, you can see some of that has started to kind of felt itself together.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
Well, that's what I'm recognizing. So we had this beautiful yarn here that's called Moonshine. And, oh no, it's Harriet that we're using, the Harriet. So the Harriet has very beautiful, fluffy alpaca fibers that are with it. And so one of our lovelies here dropped a stitch along the way. And so I've tried to get back down to it and figure out what the heck the catastrophe was. And the whole thing had really kind of almost felted itself together.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
material.
And it will.
Yeah.
So so I've got to go back and read a little more, because what I would simply do is cut it and go ahead and do it. But I'm wondering, and if they block it first, so it felts together even a little more.
So now once we're done and we chop this, all right, this is where we're going to cut here. Now, is that where we're going to, or do we knit? So what do we do to...
Okay, so we're going to go on this side and stitch it, and this side and stitch it on where you see that. If you can see it better on here.
Are we stitching it with yarn?
I think I will
Or
use
thread?
I will use yarn,
Okay.
but I will use a different color. And I think here is where I'm going to stitch it. You can see it better on that one. I don't like how they have you do that one, but I'm going to play with it a little bit more. I have 4 stitches that are purled on this side.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to stitch up right on the first side of the purl, and this side of the purl.
Okay.
Okay? That anchors my stitches.
So here's the
I got to
sharp
make
and
sure
butt
I
on
catch
each side of the
every
purl.
single stitch.
Now, when you're talking that, are you still talking yarn or are you talking thread?
I think I'm going to use the thinner yarn,
Okay.
like a fingering.
Okay.
Then I'm going to cut up.
Okay.
And so technically it can only go as far as where that thread is that I've cut. It's
Right,
like a
'cause that's the
lifeline.
lifeline. Yep.
And then I will carefully unravel and pick up each stitch as I go. Then when I've got the stitches picked up, I will add a band.
Okay.
And then this folds under your band. You know, this folds back, you pick up, and you've got your band here. You've got a little interfacing on the other side.
Okay.
And some people stitch that down with a piece of gross grain ribbon. So we're going to play and see what works.
Now,
And
this is the top, right? No, this is the bottom.
This is the bottom.
What is the point of steeking from the bottom? Because you're putting, is that a button band?
It's a button band.
Button band. Got it.
Because
Okay.
this is a cardigan.
Okay. All right. Then that makes sense.
So I will pick up, and that's what I'm doing on this.
So why
We're
would
gonna
you do
pick
this
out
as opposed to
doing-
just not doing this? Was it just because it's easier to go in the round?
Oh, color work in the round is so much easier because you're not purling back.
Gotcha.
Color work and purling back and
Yeah.
this way you can just go. You just, yeah, purling in color work, I've done it. It's a pain in the ass. And I would rather conquer my fear. And I really don't have any fear of it. Like I told you, it'll work.
I know. I believe you. I believe
And,
you. They've been doing it for centuries.
Well,
I just,
because realize
I'm a chicken, so
I'm not cutting right next to it.
Right.
You see this?
You're kind of in the middle of
I'm
it.
cutting right in the middle. So it's got 2 stitches this way and 2 stitches this way.
Yeah.
It's got to unravel. And you think I'm just going to say, okay, I cut it and I'm going to throw it in the corner?
Yes.
Hey, Maggie, play with this. I'm going to pick up those stitches right away.
live stitches, sort of.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. The Norwegians do it on their shoulders too, and that scares me. But there is a friend of mine that lives down here. Her name is remember Christine Tackles?
Yeah.
She's Norwegian, and she just does them all the time, and her stuff is just gorgeous.
Yeah. Well.
So if I had to, I could go to her.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
And she would say, "Buck up, Judy, just do it."
just cut it.
That's the way she is. Just buck up. Okay,
Well,
okay.
and then Judy brought this in. I haven't seen this one yet to steal, which guess what? Now it's mine. So look at this. Is this so gorgeous you could die?
So if you want to play with color work, that's an easy one to do. You're not carrying a lot of yarn, a lot of colors, and I don't think I slip stitched that. I think it's.
Well, it looks like it's. Was it in the round? I can't even see. This is perfect. I mean, it just looks. I can't even see where you. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure if you look really close,
sure if I look,
go, oh my
is it right
God.
Here? No, it's not it. See, look at this. This is why we hire her for hard work. Because I'm like, where is this?
Right here. It's right here.
Oh, for God's sakes, look at. Oh, right here. Can't you tell? Right where it doesn't look at all like she's done anything. But so this is all color work. So you've got your main color is your white or your off-white. And then all of this is your contrast color?
Yeah, so if somebody wants to do that, I mean, it may have been a pattern, but I can't find it. And I don't remember what the pattern name was, if I used a patton or whether I just did it.
Yeah,
it's
this looks
actually
like
very
the Emperor's New Groove kind of pattern.
This is the Grecian key.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
And then this is, yeah, this one you do a lot with slip stitching. It's the Grecian key,
oh, it's
but
so
I don't
pretty.
think I did. And then this one's just, I don't know, mountains.
Chevron?
I don't know that it's chevron, maybe. And
Straightened.
then just stripes.
Yeah,
Actually, it's not even stripes. It's a, I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, it's not hard.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yep. And I just used, so that yarn you got is
This one?
Gorgeous in it. Think about it.
Oh yeah, that would
gorgeous. Get
that
that
would
other
be.
one out that you like.
Like this one is, I like this one, but this one.
The one
where are
that
you?
is your favorite.
The one is my favorite that I seem to
Which
have a whole
stole
theme
on.
around.
What you do?
Here it is.
Was that?
That
Can
one.
you imagine that? And with what color would you use as your background? I would use a white.
I was saying off-white.
Yep, an off-white would be really, really pretty.
Yeah, that would be. Oh,
So,
that's
okay,
fun.
rack it up. I can figure it out as a class.
Just so for the record, while she thinks I'm a slave driver, she does do. You witness this, Liz. She
Yes.
says, "I'll do it." Yeah, all right. Just put two of those in my thing. All right, God love you.
So, yeah, I don't know when I'll get to it, but it'll get done.
You know, between now and
I don't
Doomsday.
have to do another one because it's already done.
I know, but it's so.
So we can
it's
do that as a
so
class.
All right, we
It's done.
just got to figure out. You just got to figure out what the heck it's called, so we can.
Judy's cow.
Judy's cow. All right. And also, so I've seen a lot of people, at least in this area of South Carolina and kind of in this low country region, there's been a lot of talk about, is there a blanket class? Is there a blanket class? Have you guys heard of any like big blankets that people are talking about out there? Because I haven't seen anything as far as the in thing right now.
Somebody was doing a blanket yesterday in my knitting group, and she said it was it was from a book called Make It by Monday, and we all just started laughing. We went, she goes, more like a month of Mondays. But it was really, really cool. And it was chunky yarn, and she was holding it doubled, and she was doing
Chunky
it in
yarn
wide.
doubled. Oh my gosh.
And it looked like it was, cabled, but it's not. It just kind of went in
that's
and out.
fancy.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
People were like, oh my God, I love that. Everybody that walked by just fell in love with it. So that might be one.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it because, you know, a blanket, I mean, it's a huge commitment, but, you know, if you got a group of people that work on
And
it
we
every...
can do, and if you're really interested in my slip stitch blanket, we can work it out.
I would
What
like to...
about that,
I would like to do that one.
That blanket that we made it in, like, it was round.
Oh, Nora's one? I'll bring
Yeah.
that one in.
Okay.
It's now Maggie's.
was
Maggie
fun.
claimed it.
You make, like,
You make like
squares.
circles.
Yeah.
And circles and squares, and then you stitched them together, and they
Yeah,
were
that was
gorgeous.
fun.
It was a Noro.
Okay.
I'll look it up here.
All right. We'll have to see, and if we can get Noro, we can get Noro. Most stuff I can order, so if there's something that we have a Noro
I
blanket
had
and we
a
wanna-
hard time finding the book because the book was out of print. So you might be able just to buy the, who knows, because,
Pattern.
Mr. Noro died, and
Sorry.
so now it's his son taking it.
So,
Just so irreverent today. I kind of woke up like, well, because I dreamt about I was babysitting Meghan Markle's kids. And I
Oh,
don't know
my
why I
God.
did
Yeah.
that, because I can't stand the woman.
I know, but, you know, I mean, you're a good person. So, Meghan Markle's kid. Last night was a weird dream night. I had I dreamed that my husband's job took us to North Korea, and we were in this tiny apartment.
No, you
I'm like,
can't
why are
go."
we here? I'm like, we're not leaving. And then we had to do something, and I'm like, well, we have to do it because, you know, the dictator says we have to, and he'll kill us. And then our reward for doing whatever the horrible thing was we were allowed to watch TV that night. Like, I don't know. I think I need to stop doing drugs or something because I woke up. I'm like, what is going on? I don't take drugs. I was like, what am I dreaming about? So weird.
What did I have for dinner?
Fritos.
You ate Fritos for dinner?
Fritos for dinner. You're on crack. Oh, here's the one.
Judy, you can't have Fritos for dinner.
I did
Lunch,
I
yes,
had-
but not
I had
dinner.
Something I can't remember what he fixed. It was good.
I didn't eat. At
I know
your house.
you ate somewhere. I got it. It's called water lilies. Hold on, this one.
Water lilies? Oh, that is cool.
Maggie claimed it. It's
So,
Maggie's
here's
now.
this. I don't
From
know
the
how
day
well
she
you can
walked
see
into
it.
my house as an 8-week-old puppy, she wanted that.
Oh, that's
like
really
it.
cool. So it just looks like garter stitch, is it? Garter?
It is.
Garter stitch.
But
then you pick up
got
all the...
Short rows.
It's kind of like the same technique as the seaweed scarf.
Oh,
You
okay.
go back and forth, and it makes a circle around. It's the one where you only make short rows on one end, because Liz was doing it in Rhode Island, and she calls me and she goes, "It's not working." And I went, "Yeah, it is." And she sends it to me, and hers is going this way. And I went, you're doing short rows at both ends. You can only do it at one end, so it
turning
keeps
it circle.
going this way.
Well, is it an I-cord that's in the middle? Kind of
Oh,
looks like
no,
an
it's-
I-cord.
Nope, it's the
No.
invisible
No,
mattress stitch, and it comes out
Beautiful.
beautifully.
Stitch them all together.
Oh, gosh, that sounds like a whole commitment. That's
No,
like a whole
it really
vat of
wasn't
voof
hard.
to get
It
that
really
thing
wasn't
together.
hard. I'll show you mine here. If I can find it. So we were at a discount place, and we found yarn that was going out of business, and we said, "Oh yeah, we'll just use this." And it was, because we got it for what, like $1.
Yeah.
And so
So-
we used it, and of course it pilled terribly, and it just looks terrible. And that's okay. So I don't mind that Maggie took it.
Yeah, well,
But,
cheap yarn does
here's
tend to
mine.
pill. Ooh, I love that one. Look at that. Isn't that one gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. So
And
here's...
again, that yarn would
Yeah,
be
wouldn't that be
gorgeous
look at
in
this.
it.
Beautiful.
So if you want to do it, we
Yeah,
can
we'll
do
look
it.
into that. Maybe we'll throw it out there and see if people
I got a
wanna
lot of
class
compliments on it. And
Yeah,
for
it's
some
cool.
reason, when Maggie came in as an 8-week-old puppy, she'd always
That
keep
was
trying to
hers.
steal it.
That was
I
hers.
kept going, "No, it's mine." And all of a sudden, I'd look down at the other end of the couch, and she'd be there all wrapped up in it.
So what's your feeling about discontinued yarn? And here's why I ask. Because there are a lot of times I can pick up, like Shibui's made me think of it, because they're now out of business. So you can't buy more. So there, a lot of times the vendors that I work with, they have stuff that they're discontinuing. So they sell it to us at a really inexpensive price. So I do sometimes stock up on that because it's good to be able to offer a variety of price ranges and things like that. So I have that. Liz, can you grab one of those Unity Beyond right there, the ones at the very bottom? Can you reach it? So I got these because I thought, oh, these are kind of fun. Nope, to the right. Those. Yep, anyone. Thank you. So I got these, and they're kind of fun. It's thin. Thank you. So here is this one, Unity Beyond, and I have a couple different things. And so when I got them, they were on discount. So this is $8 for how much? 262 yards. Okay. So I had someone that bought all 5 of them, and then of course she wanted to get more, but now they're gone. So I was just like, sorry, So what's your should as a store I shy away from the discontinued?
You know, when I had my quilt shop, I would do stuff like that with some fabrics, and I would put a sign. They sat on a bench, because I could
Yeah.
do bolts.
Yeah.
And I went, special buy, when it's gone, it's gone.
Right. Okay.
Can't get more, when it's gone, it's gone. And a lot of times then people will go, "Well, I only need 3 yards, but God, there's only 5 on here. I'm just going to take all 5. And the people might do that then with you. "Well, I really like this. I only need 3 skeins, but I might be all gone. I'll take all of them." And it sold well. And I gave it at a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
And I said,
And that is because
yeah.
initially it would be a lot more expensive, but
Yeah.
now they sold it to me
but
cheaper and all.
I always
So
put a sign there, and then I didn't have to explain it. People would be like, I said, I would put special find or something
Right.
cute, and I put when they're gone, they're gone.
yeah,
That's it.
Well, the one I was disappointed about is this yarn. I absolutely love Nordic Tapestry. And this is the last one that I have, and it's kind of a hot mess right here. So Nordic Tapestry is by Universal Yarn.
That
and
sold well for you.
Oh my God, it sold well, and it knits up in this beautiful pattern. It looks like you've done all this color work, but the color work is the yarn. It does it for you. And they stopped selling it. And they didn't even call and tell me, which I find rude.
Well, I'm upset Shibui did the same thing.
Universal
They
didn't
didn't
say,
call me
hey.
and say, "Judy, we're thinking of retiring."
Right,
Shibui.
Winslow, hey, what do you think of Nordic Tapestry? And I would have been like, oh my God, I love it so much. But they didn't do that. They just went ahead and stopped making it.
I don't understand. If something is a good seller, why do you stop? You stop when the interest wanes.
Well, maybe the interest was waning elsewhere and just not with my shop, because you never know either what's selling great in one place.
It's like Bath and Body Works. I always find a product I really like and I love it, and I go in to get it. Oh yeah, we discontinued it.
Well, that's what
I
they do
that
with
smell in the candle. Turquoise waters. Why did you stop turquoise waters?
Or my favorite lipstick. All of a sudden, the color. I'm like, excuse me. Do you know how long it took me to find this that matches my skin and stays on for more than 3 minutes? So anyway, you should start letting us know, at least me personally, when you're about to make changes.
Why they don't ask us to teach marketing classes?
Which is rude. I think that's very rude.
We're really good.
Speaking of
teaching, Shirley teach a class.
it's kind of like coming to our classes here.
Yeah.
So so I've started teaching this semester, and I gave my first quiz yesterday. So usually the beginning of the semester, I just go,
oh
my
you
God.
gotta tell this. You gotta tell
Oh
this.
my
I didn't
God.
tell you this last night. I
just go, how are these people going to survive in the world? Because I just know, and I mean I'm almost 50, so it's been 2-3 years since I was at college, and I just know that the stuff that they ask me and that they send to me and they freak out about, like if I ever did that in college, like I think the teacher would have just been like, get out of my face. Like it's such a weird dynamic now, okay?
That's the ones I always answered with. They say there are no stupid questions or stupid answers, but if there were, that's pretty close to it.
Yeah, that would be. So
that's about as close as you can get.
So I gave my first quiz of the semester, and so I always break down the way that they want the teaching to be done. A lot of times is really this whole kind of flipped classroom concept where the students are getting the information and they're teaching themselves, and then you take the class time to work on projects and other oral presentations and stuff like that. But I find that with the language, that doesn't work. You really do need to kind of get the concept in, and then you can work on it. So that's how I teach my class. But I also don't teach vocabulary, because I'm like, you just need to memorize it. Like there's just no special formula to vocabulary. We're not in an immersive environment. Like you don't have enough Spanish class to even become super fluent. So I have vocab quizzes every Thursday, and it's all planned out for the whole semester. So I say, hey, these are the vocab quizzes. And because I put them into Canvas and they self-grade, like they're really specific. Otherwise, I'd have to put, you might write this way and you might write it this way and I might put it over here and this one might put an accent here and this one might not put it. So I have to go, look, when you take the quiz, it needs to have a definite article, a la, los, and las for nouns, and keep this in the infinitive, and use no capital letters, don't use punctuation, don't use parentheses, don't use slashes, and, stay to that. It doesn't seem like a difficult concept. Almost every kid tanks the first quiz. I'm like, what is going on? Like, just write. If I write coat, you write el abrigo, all lowercase. Well, I thought I had to put a capital letter, or they put L in front of everything. I'm like, okay, L is an article for, okay. So anyway, does spelling matter? Did your college student? Yes, spelling matters. I said, it changes the word entirely if you spell it wrong. Like, pido in present tense is I asked. Pedo with an E is I farted. Or fart. So, yes, it changes the word. Anyway, so the
also
first...
the company you keep.
Very much so. Very much so. So, yesterday was my first quiz, and I'm ready for the influx of questions. Well, this guy sent me an email last night. I took the quiz, Winslow, and usually I am very lucky in spelling. Then I don't know what he said after that, because I burst into laughing so hard. He spelled lucky, Luckiee. He's lucky in spelling. Usually he's lucky in spelling. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm crying here yesterday going, is this serious? Are we serious with this? Lucky. Yeah. So anyway, that's the semester. Rolling along.
I once had a student
fine.
write a perfect research paper on John Steinbeck. It was so perfect. He was a sweet kid, so I didn't mind teasing him. And he put, the only mistake in the entire paper was that in 1967, John Steinbeck slipped into a comma and died.
Oh.
I went, he was hit
Ouch.
by a semicolon. And he said, I had a perfect paper except for that. I said, and I didn't mark you down, but that's just something cute you share.
Right, because that's funny.
With the entire English department. I went,
Yes, it is.
We were a small school. We were like a big family.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Yeah, he slipped into a comma and died. I said,
by a semicolon. Yeah. No, I had a student ask me, hey, Winslow, can you look over my paper? It was supposed to be just his letter, kind of a letter of intent for college. And I said, yeah, no problem. Let me see it. So I don't even remember who he was talking about, but his thing started off with so and so is a G, and I'm like, a G, like the letter G? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? Atticus Finch. That's what it was. Atticus Finch is a G, and I'm like, what? What does that mean? That's your opening statement on your letter? He's like, like he's a G. I'm like, it's a good thing? He's like, yeah. It's like, you can't start
like my family.
Who's a G?
Just like my whole family. We're
What's up?
G's.
What's up? I was
Not
like,
family.
I
Oh, it's like my Aztec.
died. I'm like,
My
oh,
son is a
honey.
G.
Yeah, it's like, I love you so much, but you cannot write this. You have Atticus Finch is a G. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Nor dude. You
Right.
cannot call him a dude or a righteous
G.
bro. You have to be just a little
He's
more.
a bomb ass bitch.
How do you explain that to kids? I was talking about that in teaching class today. I was telling my husband, I told Liz, today was the first time I read an article, and going back to the Memphis thing, what really made me want to sit, I wanted my journalism class right then. Because it was a really good article by the Poynter Institute, Poynter, about this video that's being released. And they talked about, this is how you would discuss it with your newsroom
Yeah,
or your
that's
class.
cool.
And it was, what is the purpose of showing this?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going? It was like 20 questions. How are you going to preface it?
Right.
How are you going to, are you showing it just for pure graphics?
Right.
Or are you going to discuss it in the news? Who is your demographic? How much of this would upset them?
Yeah.
What part would you show? What part you would not show? How would you preface, this going on? What is what would be your follow-up or sidebar article to go with this? And I thought, that was excellent.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to be in the journalism classroom so badly at that moment.
Well-
first time in 15 years, I wanted my class right that moment.
Well, yeah, and that's one of my degrees is in broadcast journalism, and right now the whole Murdoch trial is going on here, and so friends of ours are in the
worldwide.
oh my God, it's insane.
Who was it
So-
that said they were talking about something in Japan and it was on?
Oh, I'm sure.
It
I'm
was
sure. I don't know.
on.
Yeah,
I think
that's
who was saying that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what we. So our friends are in the police department in Walterboro, and he goes, "Oh my God, we're in this tiny little town, which normally has." I'm just making a number up. Don't come at me. 15,000 people at
It's
it.
small.
And
It's
a small
southern
little
It's
town.
a little southern town.
It's a little
It's
southern-
known
but
for
now
a street of antique shops, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like they said it's insane with all the media that's there, that's infiltrated. So think of just that alone, let alone the whole circus that's going
It's
on.
about, an hour from here?
Yeah, not even 45
Yeah,
minutes.
because they were saying on
45
the
minutes in there.
Facebook page for Bluffton, Tim Wood got on and said, if I were a food truck, I'd be
Well,
going up
that's
there.
what they were saying is like all the restaurants are inundated, all the places
Yep.
to stay are inundated. And so just think of the actual like extra police and extra first responders that need to be on alert. Like it's just it's gonna go on for weeks. This is just gonna be an absolute.
They're
we're like
saying
right
only
here.
like 3 weeks.
I
Because
know,
they've
but-
already they did the jury selection in 3 days and they started testimony yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, well, and that's I would like to see the cross because we've seen
Yeah.
some of the prosecution with the first group, but I would like to see Harpootlian and how he's going to go at these
Be great
It's
knitting.
gonna-
Great knitting.
Oh yeah, it's just you sit there and you're like.
It's pretty graphic.
Oh, yeah.
It's real graphic. When I read something today that I knew it was graphic when it happened to the son, but they said something today, and I won't do it on air. And what they said was just like,
Oh, so it's just gut wrenching.
first time ever.
Yeah.
I've got a strong stomach. I almost threw up.
Oh my God!
When they said it.
Yeah, well, I've heard a few things about the wounds that he received and what happened with his head and all that.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my
I'm
God!
not even going to say it. I'll
Yeah,
tell
no,
you
it's-
guys when we're eating lunch.
Thank
that's
you,
the
thank you
kind
for
of
that.
guy I
Yeah,
am.
you are. That's why we love you. That's what we. But, so that's kind of an. I don't want to say it's neat, but it is definitely like,
It's
oh my
not,
God, it's horrible. But
it's been 2 years,
it's-
3 years
Yeah.
of listening to this,
Oh,
and
it's just-
and okay, so this is what I said. We're going to go political here. a
Oh
minute.
no! Oh God! Here we go.
And I discussed this with my husband last night. He's on trial for the murder of his wife and son. He's also got 47,
Oh,
89
he's got several
other
different things
indictments
that-
against him.
Oh, yeah.
For money laundering,
just
fraud,
terrible things.
just awful things. He's never going to get out of jail anyways. He's never going to see. He's never going to walk free. they're not pursuing the death penalty. Okay? So, this sounds bad, and it's not. I don't mean for it to be. But part of me is like, then what's the worth of costing all this taxpayer money to go through this murder trial?
To prove that he did it.
I know, but it's not proving anything in the end. He's not going to get anything out of it
Well,
in the end.
but no,
They have to prove that.
they have to
someone
prove.
did
Yeah,
it.
but they
I know
have
they
to
do.
prove
I know
that
they
he,
do.
without, you know, beyond a
I
reasonable
know
doubt
they
that he
do.
did it.
Well,
But
I know that, and I
Yeah.
know that. But then another part of me is like, all this waste when he's never going to get out of prison anyways.
oh, I know, but I
He's
mean,
never
the whole
going to
thing.
get out of prison anyways. He's never going to admit he did it.
No.
So my husband thinks he'll be acquitted. He thinks they can't prove without a reasonable doubt.
You know, and I a little bit lean that way.
So
for him,
he's going
based on what we know.
So
which
so
clearly-
if that happens, he still goes back to jail because
well, then
on
he's got all
trial
those
for
other
shit.
things that I highly
know.
doubt he's going to get away
Yeah.
from any of those. But anyway, it's an interesting place because it's
Well,
right
I like
here.
to talk moral dilemmas like that.
Yes, that's
Interesting.
it's an interesting.
My husband's like, the TV's on. So it's like, okay, Maggie, what are you doing? And Maggie's like, give me a treat. And you can tell me everything because I'm deaf and I can't hear you.
Right.
Anyway, so go ahead.
So go ahead. You talk my ear right off. Yeah. No, it's an
I miss
interesting.
those kind of things in my classroom because we could discuss that and it would be fun. And,
Yeah.
And I had juniors, so I could do that, and we would talk about things like that, and my kids knew that some things we discussed we left in the room, but
Oh yeah.
and so what did it have to do with literature that day?
Sometimes
nothing.
nothing. Sometimes nothing. Sometimes you just need a day to.
I have kids that are on Facebook that
Yeah.
are now 40 and 50 years old,
Yeah.
and they say, you taught us to think.
Yeah.
And you taught us to think beyond the classroom, and I'll always be grateful to you for
Well, and
that.
beyond the media too.
Yeah,
So you know,
yeah.
and now we've got Trump's back in in Facebook and Twitter. So
Well, you know, I did that with the day of the Virginia Tech shootings. My journalism class came in, and I had already cleared it because we didn't have a TV in the upstairs lounge. I took them down to the downstairs lounge, and I didn't say anything. I said, we're going to watch this. And they said, okay. They said, just pay attention. And so we watched NBC for 10 minutes. We watched ABC for 10 minutes. We watched CBS for 10 minutes. I know I had a 90-minute class. I could do all this. And we watched Fox for 10 minutes, those four. And then I turned it off, and I said, which one do you trust?
they all have their own slant.
Gave a slant? And they said, and finally they went, rank them. And they all put Fox last. Only for the main reason, Fox was bringing up sensational rumors that had already been proven false,
Yeah.
that the other stations had said, well, we heard this, but it's been proven false.
Right.
And Fox was still bringing it up.
Right. If it bleeds,
and
it
so
leads.
it was an eye-opener for them
Yeah.
to, well, you know, you got to look and you got to listen to these four stations. Which one would you repeat? Which one would you turn to, you know, if you really wanted factual stuff? And it was interesting to them. They really
and
took
you know,
it seriously.
it's frustrating as you know when we were taught. I went to Syracuse, so I was at Newhouse, and that they teach. You know, you don't have opinions, no opinions. It's just facts, just facts,
Yeah.
just facts. But it's not out nowadays. And whatever you're watching, there's some slant. There's
Yep.
some opinion.
Yep.
They're either pro Biden or they're pro Trump, and
Yep.
there's no. So wherever the political way, it always leans
gotta
that
find
way.
an angle.
You got to find something.
I read an interesting interview one time, and we were traveling, and so we were up by Minnesota. I don't know why, and there had been a Michael Jackson concert the night before or whatever, and the guy had to write a review of the concert, and he started off by saying, I hate Michael Jackson. I can't stand him, but yet I had to go and review him. And he thought, what the heck am I going to say that's unbiased and stuff? So he went with an open mind, and he found that even though he doesn't like Michael Jackson, and even though he didn't like Michael Jackson's songs that he sang or whatever, Michael Jackson was a consummate showman.
oh yeah, he was a performer. Yeah,
He was a performer.
Right.
And he noticed the lights, the costume changes, the background, and that's what he focused on. And he came away with, I'll never like his songs, but man, I admire him as a performer.
Yeah, and
it was a great interview.
Right.
And I use that with my kids
Right.
all the time. Look for another angle. You don't
Yeah.
like it, then come up with another angle.
there's another way to look at it.
But yeah, so we've got that going on. We've got just, the world of politics, the world of knitting.
It's always crazy, Daisy. So we can rely on Knitting is our happy
Knitting.
place. Knitting is our happy place.
So remember, simple steak cozy mug.
All right, so that's going to be next week. So
That's your
work
homework
on
this week. You
Simple
don't
Steak
have to
Cozy
do
Mug.
the color. I used wool. You can use a blend, and we're still going to cut it. If it makes you nervous, give yourself more space than one. They just gave
All
me
right.
one stitch in between. Give yourself three or
I
four.
might use a couple.
Yeah, do four pearls.
So
in
we are
between.
doing wool though, so it kind of sticks together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just because that's what I had sitting there, because it was left over from my
Stash.
Arlington
Some of your
sweater.
stash.
So
You have to find some.
if that makes you nervous, just a narrow one, give you more space. You can give as many as you want.
Okay.
Some people, when they're doing sweaters, do 7 or 8 stitches. I would do 4 because it's going to get cut and it's going to get turned anyways. And then we're gonna do it next week. We're
All right.
cutting this
So
thing.
that's going to be my homework. I'm going to have to whip out.
Simple
I'm going to have
steak
to whip it out.
cozy mug.
All right. But I'm going to do simple steak without colorwork cozy mug cuff. So, all right. So we got that going on next week. We do have some new yarns coming in. Tencel. That's the word I couldn't think of there. a few
Yes,
minutes ago.
tencel,
So it's
your
interesting.
tencel yarn.
So I have this.
Throw it on a tree. No.
Yes. Wee. So yeah, I've got this. It's new yarns coming in. It's very shiny. So I only ordered 2 colors of it because it's either going to sell well or it's going to sit there and collect dust. So
I
I'm
think in
hoping.
the spring and summer, it will sell.
I think so too, and that's
Because
why
it's like, oh, this is so light.
it's really not sparkly. It's like shiny. It's got this kind of sheen to it.
And you know what? I've used Tencel before like that. It's Tencel. I've used it, and when you knit it, I should have brought it today. I did a cardigan, and you really can't tell it's got it in it. It just knits up very nice. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
lightweight.
Okay,
very
well that's
lightweight.
good. So we're gonna try that out. Just a couple of colors, and I've got. I'm hoping to see my Barocca rep soon. So I think she's trying to come down next week so we can play, and hopefully we won't overwhelm her like last time.
We were terrible last time.
And the poor, she is.
No, it was fun. It was just like somebody,
you should have seen it.
Somebody let the monkeys out of the zoo.
She comes
We
in
were
and
like,
she's got a couple of bags of ba yarn, which, as you probably know if you follow our show, we love. So she comes in and we were like, "Oh my god!" And we started ripping through these bags. She's in her car. I mean, it's like a couple paces from here. And by the time she's come in, it's
We've got it all
everywhere.
over it. We're looking at it.
We're like, "I love this. Don't love this. This is too thick. This we're gonna play over here." La, la. She goes, "Oh well, I had that organized. I had some for you, but I don't."
All right.
No.
I'll keep you under control this week.
she's our voice of sanity. Good luck, because we need that definitely.
It was. I was afraid we
So
were going to have to sell your body to
at
pay
least
for it all.
some organs. Not I don't think anyone's going to want my body at this point. They're like, maybe science fiction would like it, but. So, and Judy's gonna, not for the shop, just so you don't think I'm completely trying to kill her. She's got this beautiful top that she's going to start making for herself. I can't wait to see
know that
it.
I'm going to bring it. I think I'm going to work on it at home because I'm using such light yarn and that cream
mohair.
mohair. It's just going to get dirty and filthy carrying it around.
No, but I want to see it when you're done. I
I
can't
will
wait
come
to
and
see
bring it
when
in
it's done. stages.
and it'll be in a clear plastic bag, and you can look at it.
I can't lick it or anything. Man, she's so mean. Don't breathe on this. So anyway, so in the next week, I'm hoping to launch my new website. So we still have shrimpandknits.com, all spelled out. But I'm hoping to update it with a new flashy site. But I'm still working on that. But and once I get through this damn marathon, I think my life will shift. I won't say it will calm down, but it was just I won't be doing so much robbing myself of my will to live with my running. So
And maybe you'll answer me more often when I text you. Nah, she's out running. She's not going to answer me.
11 miles takes a long time.
I know.
Takes a long time. After a while, I'm like, I'm so bored.
See, that's why I get
I'm
bored.
so bored.
Even walking, I get bored. It's like,
Well, and then I listen to podcasts so I listen to Jeff Lewis live, and they're hilarious. But after an hour and a half of it, I'm like, and I don't run as fast because I don't have the beat like if I'm listening to music. So I'm like, do I want to listen to this where I'm entertained, or do I want to get done faster? So it's always anyway. So we've got that coming up. So we only have a few more weeks left of hearing about that.
and I will be in the shop on the 11th while
That's right.
she's running.
That's
so.
right. She'll be cheering from here.
Yes, so come on in.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll rearrange again.
You will not. You will not touch my stuff. So anyway, thank you for joining us. As always, we hope we have entertained you. If you enjoy our cast, please share it so that we can get the word out and get the shop, kind of out there into the world. And if you have something, a blanket that you are loving that we should be working on, or some other project that you're like, why are you not doing this? Please let us know. And again, most yarns can be ordered. So if there's something you're specifically looking for, we got you. Especially Judy, because then I'll stick Judy on it, and then she'll tell you I can order it. So that's just...
She can order anything. I just find it and go, we should get this.
Have you ordered this yet? I'm like, what is it? I don't remember this. She goes, I thought I told you. So anyway, have a great week and stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.